So first of all, I just want to say that I'm really grateful for this inclusivity and this possibility for being here today and to present some of the developments I have. So warm greetings from Lviv, warm greetings from Ukraine. I'm the first year student at EKA, and my supervisor is also Dr. Renee Posep. And I want to say that my background is mostly in professional area, and I've been in Ukraine. I have experience for more than 7 years, so I know some ins and outs of built environment here, of how things going on, and I just want to switch and give you a little bit of context. By the way, my thesis in broader sense is advancing timber construction for Ukraine's recovery, developing open source building systems. And I want you to dive in a little bit in the context, which you already know, but the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine triggered many problems. One of which is a large-scale destruction, which is, according to different sources, is up to 10% of total built environment. You can imagine it's the biggest affection the country in Europe got since the Second World War, and it's the biggest destructions. From the other hand, the humanitarian crisis was triggered, and as you can see, this is the photo from 2022. People in Kharkiv are fleeing. It's crazy. You can see how migration was started, and you know, some cities are now facing lack of citizens. Some are overcrowded, and so to say, in a positive scenario, Ukraine would be in a pragmatic scenario. Ukraine would be in a foreseeable future one of the biggest construction sites in the world. This is the fact, and we should face it. And now, you know, like the major building systems in Ukraine are so-called mixed building systems with reinforced concrete slabs and brick or ceramic blocks for walls. And as we know, concrete and brick are really highly emissive in CO2 impact, and we can ask only one question: what would be this impact on our environment if we will continue to build in this way? And this is one of the major drivers in my research and in my intentions, is to introduce more of the timber construction, which can possibly alleviate this impact. So to say, timber construction was already in Ukraine on the left bank and on the right bank from 16th to 18th centuries, but was abrupted by the Soviet regime. Now we have an opportunity to move forward. And here, third cycle building system kicks in. As you can see, also this stage where the TV is now, it is, as Kaiko said, it's the previous version of the first cycle. And today I want to talk about my developments and my insights in Ukrainian context. My journey began with a design replication study, which was aimed to test, crash test the system in Ukrainian context with the projects which were built or under construction since the full-scale Russian invasion. One of them is Mykola Chuka social housing. By the way, this project was a competition won by Drozdov and Partners, where I work for more than 7 years, and I was a part of the design team. And we, briefly about the project, it is a complex of social housing, which aimed for IDPs or people who are undergoing treatment or some kind of war affected or like military personnel. To be brief, this study was mostly about spatial and architectural quality appearances. Of course, it has many outcomes, except fire regulations, which I'll be talking a little bit further. And like the main outcomes of this study is that the system has full potential to be employed in Ukrainian context. You have like several challenges, like staircases and ground levels, ground floors and underground levels, because first cycle is not so not fully compatible at the moment. We need to investigate further how it's compatible with staircases, because in Ukraine staircases should be wide, 1.4 meter presumably, and this should be adjusted. So in this study, the core was made in concrete. Also, I want to say that it is like a common situation within different plots, that we have different topography, different slopes, and in some cases it is more relevant to make ground floor in concrete, and in Ukraine we like this commercial practice, like underground parkings and shelters are required now, and concrete, just only concrete meets this this part. So hopefully in the future this can be more compatible, but the next phase, which I want to talk about, is a fire regulation small study, which a bit of other reality, and it switched focus from housing to more of the public sector, public building sector, because third cycle and many timber systems, it has a fire resistant class according to Ukrainian legislation, which means that we have several restrictions in general for public and housing typologies. It is up to 2 levels and up to 1,400 square meters per fire compartment, which is actually a big area, but yet 2 levels. And we have additionally some other exceptions from these rules depending on typology. We're talking about which can lead us to 1 level, or maybe a smaller area if we are talking about healthcare or retail, or a smaller amount of actual users, like up to 50 children in a daycare centers, etc. I want to share some really positive moment, which was during this academic year, that we got the part, we won the first stage of the RVO Circular Construction Ukraine Innovation Impact Challenge, and we entered the grant, which allowed us to take this innovative technology, which was developed in EU, and to adapt it to Ukrainian context, which is the main aim of this grant eventually. And the team consists of me on the one side, where my tasks are mostly the design part, or like widening the network of professionals needed to be involved in this stage, or hopefully the next stage. We have also a charity organization based in Ukraine, District 1, which get us an actual site, an actual commune to work with. And we have Emil Van Til from Netherlands, who is a stakeholder in our stakeholder in Netherlands, and Rene Pusep and his Cree Thomas team here in Estonia. And we started with the primary care first, because as like other typologies, it is it has some major benefits, like it can be smaller size, smaller scale, relatively easy to realize, more feasible. Also, the impact of the damaged and destroyed facilities is huge, according to WHO, and it is like the first aid need in some smaller villages where there aren't any healthcare facilities at the moment. And according to WHO, they are going to focus further on a modular infrastructure, on modular solutions, because it is more quick, and they aim to deploy more sustainable solutions, which is a great goal. And some of the systems are facing these requirements, some are not, and third cycle surely is. I just want to briefly say that this activities is very vivid, and it's not only about the design, it's about making a network of network of stakeholders, network of production, network of possible clients, etc., NGOs. We've been through some technical validation. We're now at the stage of the price calculation in comparison with Estonian production, and Latvian production, and Ukrainian production. By the way, in Ukraine, this timber industry is not so well developed. We only have one production facility for the whole country which produces CLT and other timber products. It's like an open field for further mutually beneficial cooperation, hopefully. And so we got an actual plot for the pilot project in Zaporizhzhia region. As you can see, Zaporizhzhia region is really close to the front line and is in negotiations for Russia claims that they won this region on their side. It's like just a little off spin. And the actual village is 48 kilometers from the front line, which is actually the distance which is allowed due to the standards of the UN to build new constructions and to give humanitarian aid. So this is the context. Here are some photos from our partners from charity organization District 1. They've been on site, and as you can see, it's not a small, not a big settlement. It's just here you can see on the left side the major street of this village, and on the center you can see the views on our possible plot, and on the right side you can see the photos how actually all the surroundings look like. It's quiet, it's calm, everything is good except the circumstances we live in. And here we got the letter of support from the Hromada, which is a so-called community of this village, asking us to bring this facility in life because they have a need. Their medical infrastructure is currently in the village council building in one small room, which is cramped, and they need more. As you can see, for the site plan, the building that we developed is really implemented in the morphology of this settlement. It is not aggressive, it's one story. And for the site plan, we can say here like some important things, that we already had some engineering connections like electricity here and water here. So it wouldn't be autonomous. The only autonomous thing would be the sewage, which would be done by septic or some sort of stuff we are now developing. And the other important thing is a shelter. And shelters are required by the newly developed Ukrainian legislation to all of the projects except private housing. And here, the important thing about the system that unfortunately at the moment, this is the field of investigation, of course, but we can build shelters beneath the timber structure. It should be standalone version separately on the plot, or we can use some existing shelters if we have a capacity for it. So we took a look at what actually is this first aid post. What is it? And in architectural language, we tried to explain the program of the building, and this is the minimum facilities in accordance to our building codes. And actually, for this village, this should be enough. This can be either reduced, and we are trying to legally understand how this can be possible with so-called temporary structures in Ukraine, which basically can be paramedics' office only and maybe some sanitary room and waiting area. And on the other hand, this can be extended according to the medical task. It can include more facilities like vaccination points, birth related facilities, pharmacy, housing for doctors, etc. As you can see, our ground floor plan is, this is not a big building, but it's efficient, and we constructed it from we are planning to construct it from 4 M6 modules and 1 M4.5 module. The big benefit is that it is actually a fully compatible building with Ukrainian building codes, and it is really ready to get on the later design, detailed design stage to be built actually. And in this domain, I think we already have a green light. And we have an idea to make firstly on, maybe it would be on later on the second stage, or we're not we can say that if we will not attend the second stage, it would be anyway constructed. We are going to make a temporary structure with the possibility to enlarge the building, which is the paramedics office. And by the way, the system gives us this flexibility of having more research on the facade systems, which can affect the inner appearance, like all the climate and this thermal mass. This is the great thing about the system. And on the other hand, we should say that if the circumstances of the war will change and the front line will change, the modules which would be on the balance of the government or of this region will stay on the balance, and we can, if this logistics would be done in time, this can be quickly dismantled and transported to more safer places where this facility can be either reconstructed there or reused in other project. So at one point, this is like one-time investment. And a positive thing about this system, as you can see, that it brings not only sustainable solutions, but it brings us higher quality of architectural production at the end. We're not claiming that we are making just first aid help and took our hands off and leave. We are claiming that we are building, we're trying to build the future, which will have the more reconstruction quality, the more permanent quality for the environment. So basically, that's it. If you're open to engage with this project, or somehow we're looking for other funding, or maybe if you're interested, we're open to you. And thank you for attention.